1917 is the latest film from director Sam Mendes and is set during World War I, and it tells the story of two British soldiers who go on this dangerous mission to deliver a message that will potentially save 1,600 men from an ambush led by the Germans. And just a heads up guys, sorry for the late review. I know this movie has been playing in theaters for quite a while now, but the thing is, I've been really busy lately, and it didn't release nationwide until like last weekend. 1917 was actually first released on Christmas Day, but it was only for New York and LA only. But with that said, I was really excited to check out 1917. Sam Mendes is one of my favorite filmmakers working today. He's directed one of my favorite movies of all time, American Beauty, and it's easily his best film by far. And he also directed my favorite James Bond movie of all time, Skyfall. And he also directed Road to Perdition, which is a film that I find very underrated. And I like Revolutionary Road, but I don't love it. However, my excitement for it skyrocketed when I heard 1917 won the Golden Globe for Best Drama recently. So walking into it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna love this movie. It's gonna be a flawless masterpiece. It's gonna be one of the best movies ever made. Bring it on! So now that I've finally seen it, is 1917 a good movie? Yes. However, is it a great movie? I don't know if I would go that far. 1917 is a flawed movie. Don't get me wrong, it's a very good movie, but unfortunately, it's flawed in terms of storytelling and its characterization. From a technical standpoint, the film's a masterpiece. Roger Deakins did the cinematography for it, which first of all, if you hire Roger Deakins to be the cinematographer of your film, that is the chef's kiss. The one thing from 1917 that I thought was really cool and really unique was they filmed it where it looked like it was one continuous shot. So there was no transitions, it was just one continuous shot the entire movie. And on paper, that sounds like it would get old, like it would be a gimmick. But the filmmakers pulled it off successfully, and what really made it work was you feel like you were in the war from your perspective. And of course, I gotta give mad props to the production design. They did an incredible job recreating World War I. They made it look so realistic and so convincing, and it just looked like it was the real thing, even though you were watching a movie. From a technical standpoint, it's a masterpiece. But from a story standpoint, it was heavily flawed. The two British soldiers, Blake and Schofield, they were both played by Dean Charles Chapman and George McKay, and they did a really solid job playing these characters, but they didn't blow me away as much as Joaquin Phoenix in Joker or Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. The film could have done a much better job with its character development for Blake and Schofield, because we barely knew anything about them other than the fact that they're two British soldiers risking their lives to deliver a message that will save 1,600 men from a slaughter. Now as for the story, I admire what it was trying to do. When you start thinking about it, it's a terrifying story, but it just didn't emotionally hit me as much as I wanted it to. It didn't emotionally resonate with me as much as other war movies in the past, like Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down, Glory, Full Metal Jacket, Dunkirk, Hacksaw Ridge, Platoon. But what I truly loved about 1917 was how well and accurately it captured World War I. World War I is a war that is sadly being neglected nowadays. It's not getting the recognition it deserves, as much as like World War II or like the Civil War. Like those wars are like the most well-known ones for sure, but it just feels like World War I is just not being remembered as well as it should, and I want 1917 to be played in history classes in school because I want future generations to learn about this war and learn how truly awful, terrifying, and brutal this war was. So overall, guys, despite some issues with its storytelling and its characterization, 1917 is still a really solid war movie. It's not on the same level as, say, like Saving Private Ryan, but I still recommend checking it out. I give 1917 a B+. So if you guys have seen 1917, what are your thoughts on it? Or what is your favorite war movie of all time? Whatever it is, just leave it in the comments below. And if you want to see more of my videos, just be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more great content.